stream. So I just had to reboot Roll20. That's all I had to do.
Sorry, Kitty Goddess.
All right, cool. So as she walks back, her hands in the air. Waterdavians, our open ceremonies are complete. Let Fleetswake begin! And as the roar and cheering begins to immediately just escalate to out of proportion controls, immediately a green smoke will appear. And above the center of a bridge, a 40-foot visage of a cloaked and hooded man will suddenly show. And the strange oddity of this, the front visage of him shows on all four sides, as if it is the back of four people kind of glued together. They're fairly nondescript in their height or in their description. They're wearing a green hood. It seems of cheap fabric material. Their vestments seem to be that of just common clothing, something easily grabbed and attained. Their skin
Is their
seems...
skin also green?
Huh?
Is their skin also green?
Their skin is not green, but their skin is very pale, almost to a grayish tint. But they are so covered, you can only make that out on the edges of fingers and on the bit of the face that shows from beneath the hood. Their most distinctive features, they seem to have these pauldrons that the hood does not cover. The cape kind of runs down past behind the arms that look to be almost more feathered. That of like a raven's feathers.
Bo, a quick question and then a possible follow-up.
Yes.
Is said visage within 30 feet of me?
It is not, because it is higher. It is about 20 feet up, and you are currently about 25 feet out.
Can I roll a perception check?
Yes, you can.
I got one, but I get to roll it again.
You fucking halfling. Something I didn't miss.
23.
Go from a 1 to a 23. All right. Anyone else doing anything in this quick moment before we hit
My first roll of the year was a nat 1, guys. Can you believe it?
But it was at a halfling, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it's a halfling, that one.
I'm gonna, since this is above the bridge, above the gates on this thing, I'm gonna basically see the eye lines of the nobles kind of like looking up all of a sudden, and people reacting. So I'm gonna try and back up through the gate here to kind of try and get a view, and move, on the side of the crowd, just so I can try and get a view of what it is they're looking at.
All right, Grit, do you back with?
Grit,
do you move backwards with Sangfroid?
Yeah, I do. I would also be looking around for perceived dangers.
Yeah, sure. If you want to make a quick perception check, as you kind of glance around, just kind of gather your bearings, you absolutely can.
I'm to hold counterspell if it turns into something dangerous.
Counterspell is a reaction, so you don't have to hold it.
Oh, cool.
I would like to basically be perceiving to look to see if anything else looks like it's about to try to pop off that isn't the giant talking hooded figure.
Sure.
Can I also do that?
Yeah, if people want to make a perception check, sure.
That was less than a 10, which means 10.
Yep, just give me totals.
24.
Okay.
What do I do with my 23?
I'll let you know.
I'm sorry.
Ori, no, good. Ori, what'd you get?
An 11.
Okay. And Grit.
21.
Okay. So the crowd is immediately aghast, right? Like this large figure appears. It stays rather quiet for a good almost 30 seconds as this kind of stands there, this ominous nondescript, pale man in this green hood. The crowd begins to back out from under the archway, going in both directions. Some move forward. The guards kind of taken aback, don't exactly stop them from moving forward either. Like it takes them a moment. They're like, wait, you can't go any further than this. But they are pushed back a touch, as there are now persons kind of on both sides. And as Sangfroid, as you move backwards, or many people are also moving backwards, so you're both going with a flow, but people just seem, of course, a little bothered and distorted by the event as they move in multiple directions. And then you two see the visage of this current person and this man who is this nondescript man who's standing illusory, very obviously illusory 40-foot tall man on top of this archway. Grit, there's nothing you notice in particular. Everyone seems a little panicked. The guards seem panicked. There's nothing that your eyes catch that seem a bit out of place at first as you look amongst the crowd and you gather and just look about. The only thing that you do catch is that for a moment you believe that you saw a face of a person you had seen prior in a different city of your travels recently. And the only reason you thought that is because for a moment as you were looking and surveying the area, you thought you caught the look of a man who looked like he had eyes that were as crystal and shining like the moon. But in the moment to try and recollect and see if you had noticed that, you lose glance and can't see what you thought you had saw. In that regard. Rowan, as you look about, you can see a lot of people panicking and seeing bothered, but you do not see anything else in that regard. As you fly a little higher to gain like a better perspective, looking down the scenario, you can see this large illusory man standing upon the bridge, gazing down on everyone. But you see no persons upon the rooftop, and you see no other actions that seem off. What you can tell is, as you look at the guests of honor for this event, you can see Jarlaxle keeping very much his cool, looking on with these slanted eyes, quirked eyebrow, and his mouth is slightly open, is almost just thoroughly entertained. And then you can see Hold Bellabranta, who is taking who's wiping like just thick viscous sweat off his brow, as you can see like his form physically shaking.
Well, that's not good.
So
I'm gonna circle a little lower. I'm gonna just slowly circle just a little lower.
All right, so you circle around this hooded figure, and Calvin, with what you receive as well, you do notice Hold seeming quite terrified by this presence, along with Jarlaxle seeming quite entertained. But nothing else catches your glance as well. And you got a 24, was it?
Yes.
Okay. As you look forward out into the crowd, you too catch the glance of some person in the crowd of grayish skin tone, who has eyes that are glossy and white, no pupil, no details to them, just absolute white moons for eyes. But then they get lost in the crowd as they seem to sink further into the chaos of it.
Okay.
As we continue on real quick, the figure then begins to speak, and their voice echoes and bellows out, easily heard 600 feet out. Waterdavians, my people, do not be afraid. I am one of you. And everyone kind of stares about, thinking maybe this is part of the festivities. I am merely a citizen. But I am a citizen that is fed up and is tired of those who rule from the shadows, of those who hide behind masks in order to decide what our fates are. We work too hard to give money to those who will do ill will with it and gain their own profits from shadows without ever receiving judgment or punishment. I will not do that same. And he'll pull off his hood. And will reveal a shaved head of a almost sickly gray complexion, rounded ears, no really notable markings, no eyebrows, no facial hair. The nose is a bit more pointed. The eyes of a red color. As they look down on the crowd and they look down upon you, they seem almost solemn, sorrowful.
Does this person look or sound familiar to me at all?
No.
What about for me?
No. None of you know of this person. I am Kalesh, but you may call me the Citizen. I've been a worker here in these docks just like you, only to watch us be abused, forgotten, and our money well made given up to people of power. Umberly is an entity deserving of our praise and time. These hidden lords of Waterdeep are not. And it is time that the wrath of the sea shows its face and gives penance to those who neglect its caretakers. This is my warning for all hidden lords who may be here unknown, and all hidden lords who hear of this event. Fleetswake is your time of reckoning and penance. The only way to escape judgment, to escape the persecution of the land, the sea, and the skies, is to reveal your nature. We have such an example here with us. With that, Hold will push his way past Grala and Calvin. And you'll see him shake, and he'll begin to speak, and his voice will also be booming. I am Hold Bellabranta, an old lord of Waterdeep, and a hidden lord as well. I have neglected my duties and fallen into selfishness, and for that, I accept penance. The citizen speaks. And penance you shall receive. City, citizens, like minds, this is the time that we rise and we take back Waterdeep from these vultures. And for each one that does not rise will meet a similar fate. And with that, you'll just see him raise his hands as a green ore will glow. And as he drops him, his visage will completely just go down in smoke. As the smoke will fly off. It's thick, and as it coats down like a curtain, it makes it hard for anyone to see almost anything. But as the curtain falls, you see Hold begin to twitch. He's fallen to his knees, his head in his hands. He's crying. You can hear tears of cries and anguish and pain. As his form begins to change, you can see his body begin to rip through his clothing. His skin starts to become porous as holes develop all over, and you can see insectoids and worm-like creatures crawling beneath the skin. His face begins, as he screams out loud and anguish, begins to contort and to change. And as his visage changes even further, you'll see him emerge from his back, large feathered wings, and his face become that of this gnarled long skull. And standing up, breathing out with a green ire, this sluggish vulture-like creature.
Yeah.
And I've made it larger for you to see.
And also, it gets bigger.
The guard runs over, initially to try and go help Holba. As the creature emerges, he backs out holding his spear in its direction. And as he backs up, the wing from this creature just juts out 15 forward, stabs the guard, and penetrates into the armor. As you can see, the guard's form begin to wither, and then he falls over, dead.
Shit.
With that, can I get initiative, please?
Hey, this character should be as initiative as my last one.
Nat 1, BB!
15.
All right, 15. So, everyone, don't let me know when you have it. Just let me know when you're done, when you got it, and then we will totally count it on up. All right, so who got a 20 or better?
I got a 21.
All right. All right, who got a 15? Should probably try. 15 to 20.
Me.
Sangfroid, what'd you get?
18.
All right.
18.
And Ori and Grit, what'd you get?
I got a Nat 1
Yeah, that's right. You got a nat 1.
plus 2.
I got an 8.
Yeah, 8. All right. So, with that, we will start off with Calvin. Calvin, you're the first to take action or reaction as you see this creature just kind of gazing about, slow and lumbering. But when it strikes, it was fast, it was swift, and it was precise. What do you want to do?
Where's a local paladin I can call? Let's see. What do I want to do? I will throw some daggers at it.
All right, please. You immediately pull out.
Actually, one second. Give me just a moment. Let me.
All right. Sangfroid, you're going to be on deck, so be ready.
Let me go ahead and use my bonus action to do insightful fighting. So I am making a wisdom insight check against their charisma deception check. And
Gotcha.
if I succeed, I get to use sneak attack on them even if I don't have advantage.
All right. So go ahead and make that insight.
30.
Gotcha. 9. So I think you win that.
I think I do.
Yeah.
Lasts for a minute.
All right.
Alrighty. So I will then be kind of reaching into my sleeve and pulling out a pair of daggers
All right.
And chucking them at said creature.
Go ahead.
All right, so that's going to be a 23 and a 19 to hit.
Both will hit.
Alrighty.
And these daggers are considered magical, correct?
They are considered magical.
Beautiful, beautiful. Go ahead and give me that damage, which of course you have your sneak attack, so.
Yes. So my D4 and 76s.
Casually 76.
I mean, it's just 76. It's not that much. Yet. Uh, 24 damage on the first hit.
All right.
And 1 damage on the second.
All right. So you immediately reach into your sleeve and like pulling out magic cards, just 2 daggers. Just as you throw the first one, you just kind of catch it like in the gap between its arm, like in between like where its shoulder is, and just as you can see it like twitch a little bit with pain. Makes no noise, just kind of slowly lumbers back. As the other one just kind of barely grazes like past it, giving a small cut. The porous form, you can see all these like wriggling, almost like maggots on the inside.
Okay. Actually, I did my math wrong. I think if I'm reading this ability, I'm just making 2 attacks. It's not an offhand attack. With the second dagger.
Yes.
So that should get an extra +4 to damage.
All right. And as you hit the dagger's him, you see like almost like as it hits the body, like a cloud of this green material, pestilence, just puffs out. There are a few people that are lingering around the edges that have been misplaced due to the appearance of this citizen, as they begin to cough, breathing in some of whatever this material is.
Okay, and then for my move, I'm going to fall back a bit over here, and I'm going to shout, "Stay clear of the creature."
All right,
Get
so
back.
you shout out as the creature then slowly lumbers, and it just and it lets out this large, just high-pitched scream as it raises its giant wings with this 15-foot span, as it just kind of flings its wings up in the air, and then lets out a single reverse flap. Feathers from it just start flying out in different and odd directions, and I will need every character here within 30 feet of it to make a dexterity saving throw. So Calvin, that will be you. And that will not be Sangfroid Grit.
What about me?
That will be Ori and Jarlaxle and Grala and yeah.
What about Rowan? I'm in the air.
You are in the air, so no. And this is
7.
not going vertically.
17.
Lucky. That is a 19 for me.
You said okay, so you said a 19?
Yes.
And I got 17.
You got a 17. Okay, 17. Those will both pass. You take no damage on a pass. But this guard will be hit and immediately killed. And you'll see several of these feathers fly out and hit many, many, many different citizens. And as many of them do not die, you notice a lot of them begin to have like a cough, or you begin to see a lot of them pass out. People are now starting to panic and scatter. They're leaving persons on the ground, or a few are grabbing their significant others, their children that were hit, and they scatter and they run in the opposite direction of whatever this foul creature may be. With that, it kind of just turns its head up in a cocked way, deep in the recess of the skull is a small pupil that glares at you, Calvin. And Calvin, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That could have been worse. 15.
15?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is going to meet, so it's going to pass. But so as it stares at you, you feel your form begin, and your joints begin to lock up, and just for your body about to freeze, but you're able to mentally shake it off as it starts slowly lumbering into the crowd.
No!
With that, Sangfroid, you are up.
Yes, I will see this creature appear and look to my associate and say, I think they are going to need our help. No? And I'll turn back towards the creature, and I will. 1 second here. Let me find it. Where did it go? Oh, I will. It's within 60 feet, so I will light my hand ablaze. You'll see a little ball of fire. I'm going to chuck it at the creature now that it is within 60 feet.
All right, please go ahead and make your attack to hit.
That is a 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit. Please go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. That is...
Rowan, you're on deck.
It takes 1 fire damage.
1 fire damage. All right.
And then seeing that it kind of moved closer, I'm going to back the fuck up.
Go right ahead. All right. Rowan, you're up. What are you doing? What are you and Snaggletooth doing?
Oh, hold on. Ugh.
Rowan's running away and just jumping off the building.
My my thing was operating weird. I'm gonna dive bomb him. We're gonna dive bomb him.
All right. So you and Snaggletooth, I got Snaggletooth for you, are gonna go jumping down at him, and you're gonna go into melee range.
I'm gonna roll and I get 2 attacks now, right?
You do.
Well, I'm gonna roll my first attack.
Go right ahead.
$30.
That definitely hits. Are these attacks reckless?
No.
Okay.
Just doing a regular attack. Let's see, 1d12. Which one's here? +7. Damn it! I rolled a 1, so that's 8 damage.
All right, 8 damage. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do another regular attack.
And are you raging?
No.
Okay.
I would have said if I was.
All right. Before you get in your other attack, you hit it, and as you hit it, this cloud of spores just immediately kind of come up, and they just are all in your face and get into your lungs. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 22.
Okay, you pass. Go ahead and make your next
high
attack.
Constitution. I'm not used to this.
All right. Yeah. No, it's used to you and your 151 hit points.
All right, I'm going to make a second attack.
All right, make your second attack. You have advantage, by the way.
Okay.
Because you are mounted and it's unmounted, and it's smaller than your mount.
25.
25. All right, 25 will hit. Roll your damage.
Let's see, that's 16.
All right, 16. And with that, are you gonna keep staying in range?
I'm gonna no, I want to like try to fly back up again.
Let's see.
Doing a drive-by.
Let me check a griffin's feed real quick. You probably can do that.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, they are fly of 80 speed.
Yeah, bitches.
What's
Bitches.
What's their strength like?
Griffin, 18. They are pretty amazing. All right, so yeah, you can definitely do that. It took you about, let me see, it took you about 75 feet to go to the distance of where you are now. So you could go back to exactly where you were, or just pretty much, you can go up, anything like that, but decide where you're moving.
Out of range. Up but not away.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. As you, would you say you're moving more than 15 feet away from it?
Yeah.
As you exit out of its range, you're gonna see its wing kind of reel back and then just jut forward to try and to pierce you. So it's going to make an attack on you. And with that, it is going to get a 14 to hit. Does it hit?
No.
All right. So as it juts the wing out, you're able to just kind of duck, like knock the blow out of the way as you kind of fly away, and this creature just looks at you from the ground. And from that, the guards are up, and they're going to do what good guards do, and they're going to go run for help.
They did just see like two guards insta die. So.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go get. They're gonna. You see them like you don't really see that. What you see these guards do is they immediately run up and they're like gathering people and they're trying to get the people to run back in that direction since they can't go obviously forward. And they're going and they're gathering some of the fallen and they're carrying them away. Only about one each at half speed, but you see that they're just trying to not fight this creature as now they see the Half-Heart has engaged with it. And with that, Grit, you're up.
Grit's gonna mutter to himself, I don't get paid enough for this.
That can be fixed.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I am going to run up to this guy. I'm gonna try to punch it.
All right, please punch away.
With the fire attack that I just saw, Sangfroid use, was there any visible effect?
I will let you use the last perception check you made. It was not a very good or strong fire attack.
No, it was very much of like, oh, I gotta move. It's coming this way, like over the shoulder, just like. What?
And as you feel like it didn't bother it because of many aspects of that, you do also feel like the fire just didn't take well to it.
Okay. All right, roll to punch. Let's see, what do I add? This is different now. Okay. First attack is an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay. Where do both of my teeth? There they are. Okay. Do I have to do this before? And forgive me, I haven't played a monk before, so.
It's right. We're all learning.
Yeah, you're
having
fine.
to learn new math here.
First time characters, learning first time character things at level 13.
Yeah.
Down.
Let's see, hold on. Because I know I have quite a few different options with my key points. Okay, so that's when I hit. So I'm going to spend one of my key to make this a stunning strike. They have to pass a DC 16 con saving throw.
14.
So let's see.
So it's stunned.
All right, and damage is going to be. I think that's. Where did it go? D8 plus 4, so 7 damage from the first strike.
7.
then-
All right.
I'm going to use my Breath of the Dragon for my second attack.
Okay.
And that lets me do a 20-foot cone. And I am going to do lightning damage.
All right. So you're gonna do a cone of lightning damage.
And they have to pass a dex save of DC 16, but
Keep
they're
in
stunned.
mind that as I don't have it here in the field, there are random stragglers still around, as this has walked into the
Oh.
crowds.
Okay, fair enough. Then maybe I won't do that.
I mean,
Maybe-
you absolutely can. You're more than welcome.
I know, but I don't want to kill anyone.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with the wrath of
Yeah.
several
City, yeah.
city enforcers.
Okay, so I will just do a regular attack instead, and I will make this. You'll see sparks of lightning start coming off my fist for this attack.
All right.
And I rolled a 16 plus 9, 25.
Hit.
Oh, wait, come here. That is 7 plus 4, 11 damage.
All right. 11 damage.
11 lightning damage.
That's good to know. All right, Ori.
Ori is going to, upon seeing all of this, she's going to reach back, and as she's pulling out her rapier out of her back, she's going to start blade singing. So those of you around her are going to see her body start to shift and move, sort of like there's a wind around her. And it's going to be the weave itself curling and swirling her hair and her clothing around her. As she pulls out her rapier, she's going to then, with really very quickly, faster than that seems normal, her hand is going to reach through her dress down into one of her components pouches, pull out a caterpillar cocoon pod, crush it, and cast polymorph.
Upon this creature?
Yes. DC Wisdom 18.
All right. You crash the cocoon, you say the necessary arcane words for the spell, and as you cast it off, you see it as, even though it is stunned and its eye glare over at you, as its form and its soul is unwilling to yield and bend to the form that you will it. It is immutable.
I cannot move my character.
Because you are on the measuring icon. You need to click on the arrow icon on the left-hand side.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to move forward slightly.
But your spell fizzles.
And I'm going to be approaching with my rapier out, keeping a distance.
All right. That'll bring us back to the top. And so with that, you will see Grala is going to kind of just move back towards the ocean side, bringing a few people with her and keeping them kind of behind her. And Jarlaxle is going to be going and helping get some people off the ground as well. And just being like, come now. We must leave. Not carrying anyone. He does not seem to possess such a physique for it. But you see him like helping others help others get up, kind of thing. With that, we are back to you, Calvin.
Five. Yeah, sure. All right. Going to chuck a couple more daggers at it.
All right, throw away. You pull out 2 more daggers from beneath your sleeve. And
That first one is a natural 20.
Oh.
all right, and that's first natural 20 of the game. Let's go. And on a sneak attack.
Yep, I think I'm just going to go ahead and roll that one first here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recommend it.
Oof,
The sound of all this
That's,
stuff.
not too shabby.
I was also going to ask, Bo.
Yes.
Since the creature is stunned, correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone that attacks it until
Has
the next
advantage. Well,
Yeah.
all attacks have advantage against it. That is correct.
33 damage before we doubled it for the critical.
All right. All right. Cool. So you do 66 points of damage. And you'll see its form. So as you throw the dagger, you catch it into its neck. You see its neck kind of bend and fold in half as its form just kind of slumps down, falling onto its knees and like being kind of held somewhat aloft on like the bony structures that like exists in its wings. So it's just kind of propped up, almost like a fallen, collapsed scarecrow. And then with that, it's its turn. It then immediately stands back up and fixes its neck. And immediately lunges into Grit with 2 claw attacks.
Seems inconvenient.
Great.
I don't mean to be like a pain in the ass here. But does Calvin need to roll a con save? Or anybody need to roll a con save because he got hit with something?
Grit does. That's true. Thank you. As the daggers do penetrate, the more of the pestilence flies out, and I do need Grit to make a con save.
Okay.
Sorry, little buddy.
No, it's fine. I got a 22 on my con save.
All right, you definitely pass. With that, it immediately gets back up, and you see with its claws, it just kind of comes ravaging in on you, as if your stun just no longer affected it once it got back up from that what should have been killing blow from Calvin. And as the first claw comes around, you're able to dodge out of the way, but as the second one comes around, 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right, 21 to hit. And that is going to do 2 damage, 2 slashing damage, and 11 poison damage.
Okay.
And with that, it's going to then look up and peer at Rowan. And Rowan, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom! 15.
You meet it, so you pass. Sangfroid, you are up.
Noticing that I don't see any, I don't see it wreathed in flames from my attack previously. I'm going to switch up my my strategy a little, and I want to locate around this area 4 medium-sized crates, whether they be full of food or empty or whatever the hell, and cast animate objects on them.
All right, so you now have 4 crates that you've animated.
So they are now kind of floating in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and for my bonus action, I will send all 4 of them hurtling into its face.
All right, so these 4 crates filled with local vendor supplies will come crashing into this beast. Do you, I guess, roll the hit with each crate?
Yeah, and I have the stats for the
awesome
items here.
So please
and
roll the hit. And
so
roll
and
damage.
just so you know, they can be attacked because they have their own AC and HP.
Gotcha.
So just let me know if that's something that the thing tries to do. But in the meantime, let's see here. Okay, so that is a 9, a 10, a 12, and a 24. I can't hear Bo.
I can't hear Bo either.
Oh, sorry. I put crates in the battlefield for you, and the 24 will hit.
Cool. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for the crates. 24 will hit. Awesome. Okay.
All right.
So that is 2d6 plus 1. So that is 4 bludgeoning damage.
All
Magical
right.
magical bludgeoning damage.
Magical blood. It does matter. It does matter. All right. So 4 bludgeoning damage. All right. With that, if there's anything else you did, was Sangfroid was going to do on his turn?
That is his action and bonus action. I feel fairly safe in my current position, but I'm going to just scoot up just a scooch behind this box of avocados, and so I have a better view of what's going on. But I'm going to let the beefier among us stand up there. Don't want to soil my good clothes. Let's see.
All right, all right. Then with that will move us from Sangfroid to Rowan. Grit, you're on deck.
All right, I'm gonna dive bomb again, and this time I'm going to rage.
All right, you're going to rage. Please move yourself to an available location.
I'm imagining that I'm basically like shooting the boxes in and then out, so they're not like actually taking up like valuable space in the combat area.
Well,
like I'm just kind of doing what Rowan was doing before, of like just like dive bombing with them and just like looping them back around. So.
All right, so you've moved in on Snaggletooth, and you're now raging. Rage.
Do I have advantage?
You do not have. Well, yeah, you do have advantage because you are on a mounted beast that is larger than your target. That's also mounted.
Wait, sorry. Isn't it stunned until Grit's turn, not its own turn?
It's stunned. For some reason or another, was removed.
Ah, okay. Just was.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Nat 20, Jesus! All right, roll that damage.
So hold on, there's like several things happening right now. I don't understand. So rage melee is +3, and then I have brutal critical, which is 2 additional damage dice for melee criticals.
Yep, which you do a d12, so that's 3d12.
So
well, it's just ×3. We'll just do ×3. We're gonna do it that way.
So you want me to roll 3d12s?
Nah, you just multiply the whole thing ×3 instead of ×2. Pretty much your crits are ×3 instead of ×2.
Okay, and then let's see what else there is.
Well, you get plus.
Divine Fury takes an extra 1d6 plus half barbarian level.
Yep. And you get extra damage from rage as well, which for level 13, I think it's what, 4?
+3. She said that.
+3. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you're doing +10 plus half your level, so +16. So give me a d12, a d6, +16 ×3.
Oh my god. A d12, d6.
+16 ×3.
Basically a smite.
10 plus 4, 14.
So 30, so 90 damage.
Oh my god.
How do you want to do this?
Seriously?
Yep.
Woo!
I want to come down dive bombing it, and I want to like slash it in half from its skull, like as I come down, like.
All right, so it looks up at you. Its gaze, a stunning gaze, as you just bring down your mighty battle axe, and it just hits the skull, and initially it kind of catches and stops your movement, and as you kind of pivot your hands and just push your weight forward, even like tossing yourself off of Snaggletooth, you just drive it forward. It crushes through the skull, and you just cleave the rest of its weird porous body.
Would everything be ×3 or just her d12?
I roll criticals as complete numbers. So with brutal critical,
I know, but because of brutal critical, it's only adding an extra d12.
I understand, but because but that's based on the wording of critical. Because critical only gives you an additional weapon die, or it doubles weapon dice damage. In this case, I'm running it more as a times. I wanted to run it more as a ×3.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So as you kind of come down, you come crashing through it, splitting open its skull and just tearing asunder its form. And as you do, you just see the rest of it begin to kind of just bulge and begin to immediately swell. And then it begins to and pop. And as it does, just a large dispersive gas just shoots
no.
out. I need every single living thing within 120 feet to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, so I need to do me and I need to do Snaggletooth.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a 10, and then I have to see Snaggletooth.
Whoops.
You got a 10 total?
Yeah. Snaggletooth got a nat 20.
Yay for Snaggletooth. No harms were done to griffins during this.
No
But I
griffins
got a
were
10.
harmed in the filming of the stream.
Oh.
I got 8. It was fun playing with you guys.
All right.
No, Calvin.
I got a 7.
I got a 8.
Okay, Ori?
I got a 7.
Grit?
I told you, I got 7. DPK.
I hope my 54 HP isn't about to get wiped out.
All right. You all take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Well,
I rolled for concentration on my spell, and
from your max hit point total.
Oh gee, I hope that's not permanent.
Is that a curse or a disease or a poison?
Yes, it is. It is indeed a disease.
I am immune to all disease.
Ah, then it does nothing to you, and you take no damage.
I don't believe.
No,
in
that's the
disease.
opposite of what I wanted. Giving myself 53 temporary hit points instead of. Oh God. Okay.
All right, so now my max HP is reduced by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
But everything is eerily quiet. You can
That
hear.
doesn't mean nothing to me.
Huh?
I'm still gonna use it.
But as you look about, there's still dozens of people that are abound. Many of them kind of now coughing up blood. Some that are just flat out this noxious gas has just killed.
Oh shit! I land and start trying to help people.
Same. Except for the landing.
As all of you gather, trying to see who's conscious and help them up and help them kind of gather the living away from the dead and moving them out of this noxious site. Eventually, you'll see other guards returning alongside priests of Lathander, the Morning Lord's sigil upon their robes, as many of them come in and start escorting and helping out the sickly and the ill. Somewhere in this mix, you don't know when, but you do notice that Jarlaxle vanishes.
Oathbreaker! I whisper under my breath.
How many people near Sangfroid have gone down? Would you say in his immediate vicinity?
Like within like 50 feet of you?
Yeah, sure.
Probably close to 40 to 60.
Oh Jesus!
Not all dead,
Okay.
but have been affected by something.
Great.
Yes. Can I find a person who seems to be dead?
Yeah, easily.
I'm going to touch them and cast Lesser Restoration to remove disease, and see if that does anything to a person who seems to die.
So as their visage is almost emaciated, and you can see like the veins have pushed themselves up to the edge of the skin, and their lips have gone thin, and their eyes just glazed over. You cast your spell, and color restores their face, and their sickly form is a little less sickly, but life does not return.
And then that same person, I try and just cast a Cure Wounds into.
Holds you feel no take of life given that you try to give taken.
Okay.
It holds no effect.
Okay. Well, that's not great. Okay. Oh boy. In that immediate vicinity, how many that are not dead, that are just looking sickly, are children, if any children actually somehow survived being diseased?
About 2.
I will find the 2 of them and cast Lesser Restoration on both of them, and a healing word into each of them as well.
Which will remove their cough. You go up to 1. A young girl, probably about 13 in age. And she kind of looks at you almost like just timid and afraid, but calm her down. You say the few words, a light appears, and her cough vanishes, and she looks at you, just kind of smiling, and then as you cast healing word, she feels her revitalization feel better, and she's kind of like, I don't know what she did, but I feel better. And then she kind of looks around, still seeing like her mother forever sleeping, and the scenario she's in, just begins to openly and uncontrollably weep.
I just kind of, take her kind of like a, one arm hug into the side of me as I just kind of stare and disbelief and horror at the sight that has just occurred in this joyous occasion. And then I'll after taking a few seconds to myself, I'll kind of kneel down and place her in front of me and kind of put my hands on her shoulders. Do you have somewhere where you could go, where you can be safe for now, until all of this blows over for the time being?
I can go to my uncle and aunts. They don't live too far from here. Can I go?
You should do that. Go safe.
She kind of slowly begins to walk away, like constantly looking back. Wanting to run, but her feet just too heavy to move, and constantly trying to almost look back as if she's just waiting for something to change. Eventually she breaks your vision and turns the corner and is no longer seen.
And then I'll gingerly make my way through the crowd and over to my compatriot. My friend, how do you feel? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Didn't take too much of a beating from this creature.
No, it's weird though. Is this what they do every year?
No, I do not think this was a part of the festivities. I think this was a new addition. Not one I am particularly a fan of.
Yeah. This thing smells awful.
Well, I want
I'm
to
just-
investigate the corpse.
I'm just
All
glad my boxes were here to protect you.
Yeah, sure. Rowan, you have Snaggletooth off to the side as you investigate the corpse. Of course, you can hear Grit and Sangfroid speaking aloud there. Calvin, Ori, if either of you wish to come in at this moment and talk, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
I say to Grit and Sangfroid, I say this was no new tradition.
Ah, there you have it. There's our answer. The
And I roll a
scary lady.
for investigate.
The form itself is decrepit and just malformed. It's hard to really. I mean, you don't find anything on it. It's just up close. It is just more vile and desecrated and just of an awful stench than.
Can I like
imagined.
scoop a piece of its body and sniff it, like on my finger? Can I like do that?
So, for anyone who's paying enough attention, you see this small halfling woman with a muscular physique dip her finger into one of the poorest section of his arms and pulls out like this gunk with like a dead maggot on it. And it just kind of slowly oozes, encasing her finger like watching like a candying process.
And I take a big whiff.
And as she does, you see like the maggot like lift from the suction a little bit before it falls back down. Before the like adhesive of this like gunk interior like that. And the only way to describe it is just, God, what's a good way to describe it? It is smelling the recently open, like if you've recently just cut open a cow and
Recently, not like a
burst it.
cow that's been sitting for a while.
No, like just like cut open its stomach with just like like this brine acid smell, along with this back smell of decay and just like and just decay and death that also
I
surrounds it.
stick my tongue out as if I'm gonna taste it, and then I think better, and I put my tongue back.
Sangfroid notices this.
Then I wipe the remainder off on like a cloth or something.
I swallow back the throw up that was about to come out.
Or very confused at that.
Interesting smell. What happened here?
While all of that's been happening, Ori cast Unseen Servant and was having the servants kind of help move the dead bodies to be in better positioning, and she's going to walk up and is going to start ritual casting Identify Magic to see if anything on the body itself was magical, which I know takes
takes time.
Yeah.
All right. So as this kind of happens, you Calvin, of course, you'd pay note to seeing Ori immediately ritually casting, drawing some arcane markings upon the ground after making a clearing. You'd have a person that walks from the group of Lathander priests who are helping out, who would come and walk up closely to you and just be like, "Sir, is there anything you wish for us to do? Anything that I can do to help?"
At this time, attend to the wounded. Once all the afflicted have been cared for, let me know.
He nods and runs
Do
off.
I notice Calvin?
Yes, you notice Calvin. I believe at this point Calvin has come up to near you.
Literally quietly just hovering right off your shoulder at this point. And I, after the guards strikes up, is like, I look over at Ori. Well, I don't want to interrupt, but this does seem like something that we should probably bring to the Black Staff.
Rowan jumps a little, and she like goes, Calvin.
Rowan, hope you are doing well.
Yes, this is my new grip. Would you like to meet him? And Snaggletooth kind of snaps at you.
I reach into another pouch, pull out a larger chunk of raw meat to give to the griffin. Good to meet you, Snaggletooth. And I kind of scratch him like right under the beak.
As he eats the meat and you scratch, it just, immediate traitor, gladly betraying you for a chunk of meat. He eats at it. But as you try to scratch him under the beak, you get like a single scratch, and then he immediately like pulls down and like hits your hand with like the hard solid of his beak, and it's like, ah.
Rowan kind of like stays stiff and just kind of like shuffles to the side. Shuffle.
Did I hear Calvin mention the Black Staff?
Yes.
Yes.
You are going to see the Black Staff.
Ori's just ritual casting, just ignoring.
And I'm gonna take a step forward to you guys, and
I'll kind of like step off to the side, so like make eye contact, like a step around behind Ori.
Yeah.
So we can chat without necessarily being right
and
over him.
I'm going to look upon you, and then over at Rowan, and you'll see kind of a face of recognition on my face. You are Calvin Waterson. You are the one of the lords from the festival moments ago. Yes.
Aye.
And you, Captain Half-Heart. I have heard of you.
Yes,
Tales
well, I'm not surprised.
Tales stretch far and wide of the the mighty axe of the terror of Waterdeep. You both are quite famous, actually. I am very honored to meet the likes of you all. Tales have traveled up and down the coast of your deeds these last few years.
Rowan smiles with her sharp teeth and does kind of like a stiff bow.
Where are my manners? I am Sangfroid De Sand, a humble servant, but it is actually very fortuitous that we should meet like this, because I too am in need of speaking with your Blackstaff. I did not necessarily have a very good in to have that conversation, but perhaps you two could be of service of getting me that audience.
I have to see if Savra wants me to speak to the Blackstaff first.
And what business do you have with the Blackstaff? Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Kris.
Yeah.
No. Maybe he's
Sangfroid!
The one person who works with the Blackstaff is.
I hear him screaming in his room, so I.
all right. Or you're hearing this very loosely, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Cast the spell. Cast the spell. All right. I like how he only DCs when we're trying to have meaningful conversations with him.
I know.
Yeah, right.
It sucks.
I've been having some
Like-
issues as well, where it'll just start cutting like your voices. I can hear like part of the syllable of what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, hey.
He's having the problem. Remember, I used to DC all the time. Now it's Kris who's always DCing.
You cursed him. Is he in your old room?
He's in my old room.
No, he's in Bo's old room, so it's weird. But he's also nearest to the Wi-Fi because his room literally is where we keep the router.
It's not the internet. I've had my internet is up. I'm using it for other tabs to keep track of spells and stuff, and none of that is having an issue. It just drops me out of this every now and then.
Noise.
But as I was saying, Calvin was asking me what business I had. I am a man of stories. I have many that I have heard in my travels, but I have one in particular that I think your Blackstaff and your Open Lord would be very interested in hearing. Rumors and whispers, but you know how these things often turn out to be more than they appear. And after the events of today, I do not think that these are something that would want to go ignored. So, if you had a way for me to speak with them, that would be most helpful, I must say.
I suspect we can manage that.
You are far too gracious, and I give a little bow to a man of higher stature than I.
Rowan bows again, stiffly.
I just give a little head nod.
And it's like, and focus on great. It was brave of you to run into the melee there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where are my manners? This is my companion. Go, introduce yourself.
Name is Grit. I'm Sangfroid's bodyguard.
And I'm very good about that. This one, he is good in a fight. I assure you.
I like your name. It's great.
No, it's great.
Grit. It's pronounced Grit.
Thank you. Trying to be polite. I've never been in Waterdeep before, so you're.
Yes, this is his first day. Quite an experience. His first morning in. I promised him many firsts today, and I think I'm delivering. Yes.
It has been an adventure so far.
Indeed it has. Well, if there's any other way we can be of service, anything I can do to help in order to get that audience, please. I am at your humble service.
I look around for see if Savra's arrived at all, or anyone above me has arrived.
Any aid you can lend to the stricken and attend to the casualties, it'd be appreciated. I'll be back shortly. I'm going to take a look around the vicinity. And Kelvin will go kind of do a search pattern for
All right.
a bit.
So Rowan, as others have gathered, they have not been of higher status of you. They've been.
Because I'm a captain now, so I kind of do my own thing, right?
Well, you typically you would have your own patrol, and you'd be guiding people, telling them like kind of giving the one now more giving orders. So there's actually plenty of these that are coming to you and asking for you to what they should do, what they should be focusing on, what they should be looking for, anything like that.
Okay, I'm sending some to corral people, some to help with the dead bodies, some to look out for more danger. I'm doing the thing.
All
I'm
right,
doing the
gotcha.
leadership thing.
After a few minutes, Ori, you will finish your ritual cast of
Identify magic.
Thank you. I don't know why my brain just zoomed out, but detect magic.
Detect, sorry.
Yeah, detect
Or
magic.
it was identify. I was looking, or I guess that would be detect, sorry.
Yeah, I was detective.
Yeah. Yeah, because my brain was saying identify magic. I'm like, I know that's not what it's called.
Right, yeah, you knew what I was going for.
Yeah,
There's
you and I had the exact same brain fog.
magic.
Yeah.
We'll just cross names.
Yeah. So with that, you cast detect magic, and as you look about, you do not detect any magic from this corpse or anything around you.
Doing that, face is going to sort of look even more concerned. Then I looked at Sangfroid. You wanted to speak with someone with the black staff.
Yes, and your open lord, if I were able. I think these are important matters for people of their station to hear.
You can hold counsel with me then. But
You are the open lord.
no.
You are the black staff.
Well, I work with the black staff.
Well, that is certainly a good in. But perhaps the story is better told in front of your boss as well. It has already been quite a day, and I don't know if I have it in me to tell my story multiple times.
Don't. You can speak with me first. I assure you, I'm high enough up that if needed, I can make sure certain things happen.
I am not doubting that you cannot do as you say. That being said, I am not very familiar with you, unfortunately, and this is a sensitive matter that I would trust to very few ears. And so I would much prefer to speak to them directly. Of course, if they're so keen to have you as a part of the conversation, I would trust in their judgment. Forgive me for being so secretive, but I've come a long way to give this information and kept it secret until now. So I must be very cautious of who I present this kind of information to. You must understand.
I have a quick question, Kris.
Mm-hmm.
Is your accent supposed to be from someplace in particular in world, or is it just French because French?
French because French.
Okay. Carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
My name is Ori Amastacia of the Amastacia, the last living Amastacia.
Gesundheit.
And if you insist, give me one moment. I want to send a cast sending.
All right.
I can't remember her name, the head of the black staff. I'm sorry.
You're looking for Safra, I think. Oh
That sounds right.
Vajra, sorry, Vajra Safar. Vajra Safar, the black staff.
All right.
25 words. Go.
You gonna do the count for me?
Sure.
You're gonna do the count for me.
I'm at the docks. Things went very badly. I have someone that wants to speak with you. Please advise.
6 words left.
Six words left. If you want.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm going to drop it like that.
6 words just to spell back into the weave. You'll get a response. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope a report is coming. Do you trust what they have to say is important for me to hear? If so, bring to the tower.
Sangfroid, for your sake, I hope you're not fucking with me.
I would never dream of it.
We'll go to the tower once this clears up, if that's okay with you.
Of course, there is time to do what must be done first. I completely understand.
All right. So, as Rowan, you keep giving orders. Grit, what are you doing during all this?
I have been canvassing the area. Well, not canvassing. Looking around the area to make sure there's no more threats, and hiding from that griffin.
It's been eyeballing me funny.
Snaggletooth has kind of like cross eyes, so
Of course,
you can't tell where he's looking.
this fucking thing.
Oh my god.
Who broke him? Jesus.
God. This is what happens when you don't give Umberly enough money.
He's perfect just the way he is. You all quit making fun of him.
I don't think Safra likes you as much as you think she does.
I picked Snaggletooth.
She did.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He's
goodness.
fierce.
A mighty beast, if there ever was one.
As you kind of start hiding from him and ducking back and forth, he kind of notices and he goes, "Meow." And you like go behind a box and you see him kind of bum 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 bum. Try to look behind the box after you, and you like sleuth away. Like, "Meow." He now just thinks that you're playing a game.
Oh.
So as
He
you
is the deadliest game.
yeah, so as you go like hide behind that what we've now determined is a crate of avocados,
Yeah.
you'll hear like a bum 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 bum.
You tell me what they are, Bo, if not avocados.
I mean, look, they're just very, very green.
Avocado.
I mean, clearly they're cabbages.
Oh, true. Yeah, I'm good with cabbages, too.
My cabbages.
Anyway, we're not gonna.
If they were cabbages, that would have been one of the boxes I animated.
We are not becoming a cabbage stream.
No.
Anyway,
It's too late.
Cabbages, sponsor us.
cabbages sponsor us. Yes, we would like our first sponsorship to be cabbages, please.
Hey, cabbage money spends like the rest of it.
So, Calvin, what are you doing during this moment?
Investigation. Probably checking the gatehouses and the gate where the statue appeared and trying to gather any clues that I can.
Okay.
I'm going to find the priestess.
Find Grala. Okay. Calvin, please make an investigation. You can go find Grala. She's standing by the water side, looking down at the cache. As you get a little closer, you see her put her hand up and let out a small cough.
I'm going to give her distance, but kind of make it so that she knows I'm there.
She turns an eye and she sees you, and she gives a kind of like a little bow, and she says, "Thanks for your protection."
And then nod back. My people are, of course, at your disposal. and I am also at your disposal. If there's anything I or we can do to help, please. I know this is such a bad omen for a day so significant to you.
The offering was made. We will still thrive, and Fleetswake will still go. Just, stop whoever did this, okay?
I shall.
Bless you.
I want to wait for a moment to see if she has anything else to say before turning around.
He used Dumberly's name, but I don't think he's right.
No, nor do I.
I got a 32 on that investigate.
All right. So as you investigate, you find yourself on top of the bridge, and like above the archway and the gateway, and you can faintly make out what look to be maybe some footsteps that were up here of maybe 3 to 4 people.
Okay. Do they lead off in any particular direction?
They lead off of the roof and down a few like canvased tarps, and from there you're not really able to follow the trail. But the only thing you can imagine is there maybe was like a small group of persons that were up here during the time. What they were doing or anything like that. The only thing you can surmise based on that is that they were probably possibly the magic casters who summoned the illusion.
All right, I'll go back down to the group then.
Gotcha. Um, so another griffin's gonna fly in, Rowan.
Okay.
You know this to be Commander Vinrir. He's an older veteran, little prudish, but he does outrank you. He outranks most, and he's had a lot of time here. And you've worked with him once or twice. Very kind of solemn and quiet.
Commander, sir.
Half-Heart. He kind of looks around.
There was an altercation here at the docks.
I heard of the affair. I'll need to know more, but I'll ask you about that later.
Yes, sir.
I think you've done all that you can here. I'm gonna take over and make sure that everything else here is taken care of. You got that?
Yes, sir.
He looks over at Calvin. Calvin, you know him to be associated. With your connections.
Okay.
With Mert.
Thank you. Gotcha.
He looks at you and he says, Lord Waterson, is there anything that we can assist you with?
I kind of look down, tap my lips here, and just...
If you're needing any assistance or any of prowess, he puts his hand towards Rowan. I recommend the Half-Heart. She is quite capable.
Calvin would look up and say, "Yes, I have some first-hand experience." With
Rowan
the
kind of
capabilities.
blushes and looks down.
Yeah, I think we could use the hand. Anything you learn, let me know. We're gonna. I suspect the muscle's not what we need at the moment so much as information. Anything I get.
Yeah. So he looks at you, Rowan. Listen here.
Yes.
From now on, until other word is given, you're following Lord Waterson's command.
Yes,
And
sir.
you are not to speak to Savra about any of this.
Sir?
Heard?
Yes, sir.
continue. And he's gonna go off and he's gonna go get a few men and start immediately.
Is Sabra higher than him or no?
No, they're more at this point. The Sabra's more recent promotion. They're effectively equal footing.
So that definitely tears me a little bit.
Like he's been in his position longer, but they're recently equal footing.
Calvin, I turn to you and I go, Lord Waterson, at your command, sir.
Calvin's fine. Rowan
kind of like kicks her feet.
He looks slightly distracted and like actually just kind of like waves up. Bo,
Mm-hmm.
Am I aware of any bad blood with Sabra and that association?
Make it just make an intelligence check real quick for me.
Can do. Oh, that was really bad. That's a total of like 7.
Okay.
That was a 3.
You're not sure why he said such a thing.
Than a 10, then?
It's not a skill check.
It wasn't a skill check. I wasn't adding my proficiency.
It's just an ability check. So with that, yeah, like, you can't really piece it together. Like there's like something missing that you're not catching or grasping from, to like put together a surmisable, like, well, it could be this, it could be that. Now, of course, you can think of that yourself to go ahead, but unfortunately there's no DM assistance in this regard.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Everything here seems to be clearing up. A lot of the persons here have already been moved out. A lot of them taken to different temples. A lot of the bodies have began to be collected and organized and identified. A lot of Kalimvor priests are here, giving them last rites and preparing them for the city of the dead. Or for whatever method that the family may decide. With that, though, all of you begin to feel a little unneeded. Whatever here has been exhausted.
I'm going to find Calvin.
Yeah, I'm basically just like 10, 15 feet off with Rowan here. And I focus back in on Rowan. It's like, it'll be good having you along again.
Yes, sir.
Calvin kind of hitches up at the continued yes, sir, and is like shrugs and goes to meet Ori halfway.
I need to take the half-elf to my master. Afterwards, would you like to meet up to discuss what has happened?
Actually, I'd like to tag along if that's all right.
Perhaps they should all come. We have much to report of today's events. Maybe they might have insight into that as well. That would be useful for your master to hear.
And we're already deeply enough involved. This will keep us the information as need to know as we can.
And of course, I go nowhere without my bodyguard.
Of course.
I want to look at the Cobalt. Fine. Looking at the Halfling. Do you want to come with us, Griffin Rider?
I have orders to stick with Lord Waterson here for the time being, so yes, please.
Well, that clears that up then. Let's go have a meeting, and then let's get lunch.
On the just place.
Fantastic.
I sit on Snaggletooth and have him not fly, but like walk with everyone.
All right.
Opal is going to
all bow-legged or whatever the hell is wrong.
All right, and give us a quick moment. We're changing maps.
Nothing else is wrong with him, okay? He's perfectly healthy.
He's got a bit of a limp, a little peg leg, something.
His eyes are cross-eyed so he can see in multiple directions at once, okay?
He's like a chameleon. I get it. Operating independently.
All right, so all of you leave and start
Noble
start traversing northward to the Blackstaff's tower.
She's in the castle ward?
It's in the door, I think.
Do we actually have to move our characters on this
So
map?
Blackstaff's
I got
tower
it.
is going to be in the it's gonna be in the northwest section of the castle ward, west of just west of the market. The way that you'd get there from here is you would take Fish Street, and then you'd go up. You would just kind of take Snail Street all the way up until you hit Waterdeep Way. Then from Waterdeep Way, you would just walk up the Street of Silks, very cautiously, with your griffin, of course. And you would find yourself kind of pulling off from the Street of Silks, more towards the Lady Dreaming, and you'd be taken to a different form of entrance to the Blackstaff's tower.
As we're walking before we get to the tower,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be kind of walking within close proximity to Rowan and into Calvin. So, if I hear correctly through the old grapevine, if you will, you two are kind of like heroes of this city.
Something like that.
Rowan certainly is.
Well, you're very modest, but from what I hear, there was a group of you that brought many riches back to this city. There was the noble rogue, the halfling terror, and there was like a sorcerer of some sorts, and then the blacksmith.
Yes, Gillian and Temper.
You did quite a great deed, if I am to hear it correctly.
As with, I'm sure, many great deeds, mostly mistakes that ended less poorly than they could have.
I suppose that is fair, but I do consider myself quite lucky to have met both of you. I hope that I can meet the other two as well.
Rowan sort of coughs.
Gesundheit.
And then she just says, Temper is dead. And then she moves her griffin further ahead so she doesn't have to talk to you anymore.
Kind of surprised by the reaction, I'll look over to Calvin. And Temper is this the blacksmith or the sorcerer?
The blacksmith.
Ah, well, that is the terrible thing about adventuring. Sometimes not everybody makes it out. Today was a good lesson of that. But it is a shame. But we move on and live to fight another day.
Yes, as best we can. So, where are you from?
I'm what you would call a nomad. I don't really belong to one place or another. I've been up and down the Sword Coast for the last few months, actually, from port to port. And on that journey, I overheard something of interest that I thought your higher ups would be reticent to hear. So,
Well, were you on ship when you gathered this news, or were you in port?
We were in port at the time, but then chartered the vessel to come here and bring it to the area.
Chartered a vessel. That's no small expenditure.
I apologize. Maybe my language is not Waterdevian in nature. I just meant paid for passage on a ship that was already leaving for Waterdeep.
And where did you come from? Where was this port?
We were most recently in Schult.
Andrew, to be exact.
Yes, what he said. So we were. It was quite a journey to get here. So it is of utmost importance that I speak to the people I came all this way for. You understand?
Something important in Chult, huh?
Does it involve the horn? No, I'm not there. I'm not there anymore.
There's at least where I came across the information.
Interesting.
But it is very busy in Schult. Lots of moving and shaking, if you will. It's quite a lively port. Ah, look, the tower.
Yep. As you continue to move forward, you can see the beautiful tower in the distance. It having these large curved archways upon its base, and then above it you can just see like a cut-in spiral that runs in the tower going all the way up. It has like a back sail made of like a stained glass with almost like petal cuts made into it, and at the front it almost has like a weather vane like front with the same kind of stained glass cuts. A large and long bridge connects it to a smaller tower, and almost like a small little hut, like a thimble out of the ground, that sticks out of the distance, more in this greenery area. It's placed a little bit out of the way, so it is surrounded more by the cliffside and the mountains that scale down from Mount Waterdeep, giving it a more serene and less Waterdeep heavy city feel like the rest of the city does. As you approach it, down by closer to the riverside, Ori brings you to a flat aspect of its surface that is solid wall amongst the cliffside that it is built in.
Going to just wave my hand at it.
As you wave your hand at it, a doorway will appear with your name emblazoned within the keystone at the top of it.
That is quite a trick.
Or he's just gonna look back and wink, sort of very tired looking.
All right.
When I look at the doorway, measure it compared to the griffin. Is there? Would the griffin be okay if it stayed out here?
Yes, of course. I dismount and I what do I usually do with Snaggletooth when I go inside places? I guess I just tell him to wait for me.
Okay. Yeah, his crossed-eyed, slightly off-the-line beak looks at you and just sits.
I was gonna say he's that. Yes, like a dog.
Mm-hmm. Like a dog.
That is also a bird.
And a lion.
And a lion. And a chameleon.
Yeah.
Well then.
And a best friend.
Bashra is always busy, so it's best to not keep her waiting.
Absolutely.
All right.
Would not there.
And as you enter the Blackstaff Tower, it is it's very MC Escher, just with how with staircases and just the way that it's spiraling. It is visually hard on the eyes of which way is up, which way is down. Just all this illusory magic that seems to do nothing more than just to confuse the feet that wander throughout this place. But Ori walks a path as if it is the only one there is to walk.
If she wants to take point, otherwise I've been here before.
True.
Possibly.
I'm 100% taking point.
Yeah.
Then I'll take her.
And as she eventually reaches one part of the stairway, you see her turn left and just walk through the wall.
Somebody else go first. I do not want to make a fool of myself.
From the back, it's like it's fine. Just go.
Grit, you do the honors.
It's like, if somebody doesn't step up in like the next split seconds, it's Calvin will just sigh and walk.
Like weasel your way up the stairs past everyone.
Yeah.
Grit's gonna go first.
All right, so Grit, you kind of like initially like dauntingly put your hand forward and like tip your toe into it, and you're like, oh, it's like nothing's there, and then you start walking through it, and you find yourself within another chamber. And then one by one, following suit, you will all walk in there, where you'll find yourself in a grand study, a singular, large, like about 14-foot long desk that sits beneath a stained glass window that overlooks Mount Waterdeep. The sides are just nothing but bookcases with just mountains of different books, all that look to be arcane and planar within their what you can grasp gently based on the titles on their spines. The room is just echoing as it is a large ovular shaped room. And from there, you will see Ori have already walked up to the desk, and coming from around the desk, you will see Vajra Safar, the Blackstaff.
I have a bit of a report to give, if I may.
Just of course, I'm ready for your report. And with that, we'll go on break.
Okay, I'm hungry.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How long of a